Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Taft Mays Rink in Watertown. Tonight, the East Haven Co-op hockey season continues. The final quarter of the season continues as 15-1 East Haven travels to take on 11-4-1.
Heads up. Sorry about that.
Watertown Pomperog. What did he drop?
It's no clipboard.
Nick just dropped his clipboard all the way down to underneath where it's a rousing start. Mike Amento, Nick Maniscalco, Rob Becker with you tonight. East Haven 15-1, 71 points. First in Division II. They have a 2-point lead on Cheshire. They're 7-1, tied for first in the SCC with Cheshire. Watertown Pomperog 11-4-1, 50 points. That's good for 7th in Division II, tied with Amity and North Branford for 4th in the SCC. They are 3 points, believe it or not, out of 5th place in the state tournament, 1 point out of 10th. 6-2 in the SCC. The top 4 teams get in the SCC tournament, so needless to say, this is going to be a big one tonight. Everything good? You got your clipboard back? You're good? You're good? Okay. And we are underway here in Watertown on a frigid Wednesday night in mid-February, certainly one of the coldest buildings in the state. Griffin McGlinchey, as there's birds flying across the ceiling in here. That's always adds to the intrigue. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. John Dalbero tries to keep it in now. Griffin McGlinchey at center ice. Andrew Brown, the goaltender for WP. And, of course, Michael Fritz in goal for East Haven. Griffin McGlinchey fanned on the first pass. Now cleared it all the way down, taken down there by Bowden Stanton. Now behind the net, Jackson Hitchcock, one of the names you're going to hear throughout the night. Hitchcock gains the red line, dumps it off one of the rafters and out of play. 14-10 to go in a scoreless first period, and we're watching the birds fly.
And looking at the rink, like, it's an interesting rink with birds in it, but, like, even how that puck kind of went out, how the building is, it's like this dome kind of shape. So the rafters are so close. You're going to see a lot of pucks, almost like if you think Bennett Rink, how low the ceiling is there. So there's these weird little factors you got to think about.
It's got to be an optical illusion from where we are, but it looks like the coaches' heads are going to hit the ceiling from where they are standing on the bench.
It's kind of like us at Northford.
Yeah, pretty much. Michael Savo deflects the puck deep, puts it out in front. Nobody there. There is no mascot for Watertown Pomperog, so we'll just call them WP. Savo goes to the net, now goes behind the net. He was taken off the play by Jack Govea. Savo still has it. He's in the far corner. Back to the blue line, held in by Ballo. Throws one towards the net, deflected wide. Savo knocks it down, played in the corner now by Govea again. Govea has been on the ice since the start of the game. Ballo cross ice for Cameron LaCroix. LaCroix up the boards into the WP zone. Nice play by Landon Cantelli. Cantelli to Savo. Shot saved by Andrew Brown. These are two of the best goaltenders, not only in the SCC, but in Division II. So a really good goaltending matchup tonight. Savo tipped it in onside, so we're going to continue here. Billy Dimitriadis has it at the red line, curls back. Now Testa at his own blue line. Cross ice for Benji Brown. Brown, nice pass to Enzo Plano. Plano worked his way in, but he got knocked off the play. And now Testa and Brown play catch again at their own blue line. Ryan Bedell dumps it in. Back of the net, Peter Dawson for WP. Knocked off the play by Plano. Neither team with a quality chance here in the first couple of minutes. Dimitriadis, far corner, collides with Joseph Kovac. And now WP ices the puck, and it'll touch up with 12:18 to go here in a scoreless first period between East Haven and WP. There's a lot of big games going on tonight. We'll try to keep you posted on some of them as we go.
Yeah, so the early kind of window, you have Hamden and Wethersfield 6-3, Wethersfield 1, and that's something where it almost like this game, you don't know a lot about Hamden, it feels like you could see anything on the score sheet, but to see how they're going to react, it really, there's not much to know about it. So, like, you know, with Watertown, their goalie's phenomenal. I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago, he got his 1,000th save. So, like you said, we have huge goalies in this game, and every game is low scoring lately for us.
Seems like that's the way it's going to be here for the remainder of the season. Puck taken behind the net by Peter Dawson. Being hounded now by Dalbero. Preston Cantelli steps down. Dalbero down for DeFilio, the backhander. And Andrew Brown, the junior goaltender, swallows that one up. 11:58 to go, no score first period. And he's got 1,000 saves as a junior. He's still got another year to go.
So that could kind of talk to, like, East Haven, where, okay, they let a lot of shots up, so put as many as you can on them, and just something's got to give tonight. Especially, they look good. Like, most of the play so far has been in Watertown zone.
John Dalbero from the blue line went wide. Dalbero had stepped to the blue line because Preston Cantelli was in deep. DeFilio tried to go to Dalbero. Lorenzo with another shot. They poke at the rebound. Griffin McGlinchey's got it now. Tries to put it back in front. McGlinchey still has it. He scores! Griffin McGlinchey goes top shelf on Andrew Brown. And with 11:26 to go in the first period, Griffin McGlinchey gives East Haven the early 1-0 lead. And that's a great start after a long bus trip up here.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. We were talking about bus legs. It doesn't look really like they have bus legs. They look good. They're moving the puck well. DeFilio had a great shot. And then Griffin just buries one. You kind of felt that everything was kind of loose out in front, and Griffin just picked up a loose puck and put it home.
Off the faceoff, here comes WP right away, and Michael Fritz with a big save on Joseph Kovac. Fritz's first big save of the game. And maybe that'll get Watertown Pomperog a little bit more relaxed. LaCroix trying to go up to Ballo. Ballo tips it up to Savo, who gets it up to the blue line, not out. Landon Cantelli blocked the shot, so it's all the way in the WP zone. Great hustle by Landon Cantelli. Stolen there by Nicholas Perillo. Perillo dumps the puck deep, goes around the boards. Ballo steps down. WP clears it out. Here they come. Into the East Haven zone. They throw it on net. Fritz couldn't handle it. Now Perillo around the boards up to Savo. Savo clears it out himself. Savo into the WP zone. Takes it, dumps it all the way in, and East Haven will go for a change. Perillo and Cantelli will actually stay out. Savo's the only one who came off. Watertown clears it out. Benjamin Brown tips it up and off the rafter again. 10:18 to go. First period, East Haven 1, WP nothing. And we talked about that on the way up here, about the bus legs, that this is one of the longer trips that this team's had to make this year.
Yeah, this feels like kind of like a Yukon kind of trip that we had earlier, so stuff like that, Norwich. So you have that kind of mentality, but these kids, we talk about their hustle all year long, and now we're trying to get the bird out of hope this doesn't end like the baseball game.
Oh, Randy Johnson?
Randy Johnson, that was it. So this is something that you've been doing this a long time. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No.
Okay.
No, that's a first. Nice job by the WP players to try to get the bird to safety. I get the feeling it may not be the last time that bird is on the ice tonight. Yeah, 2 minutes for delay a game on the bird. Ryan Bonnell runs into Owen Brown at center ice. WP carries in. Nice play by Demetriadis, who stole it, but East Haven couldn't get. Oh, nice hit by Testa, far corner. There's Kovac behind the net. Kovac steps out. Fritz made the save, and then Enzo Plano tied up 14 Owen Brown and didn't allow Brown to get a shot. Now Benjamin Brown up to Demetriadis, now to Ryan Bonnell. Ryan Bonnell gains the WP zone and dumps it in. And they have to go the length of the rink now. There's a nice pass up to Brown. That's Owen Brown, number 14. Dumps it in. Fritz knocked it down. Carter McGlinchey ties his man up. Landon Cantelli out there now with Josh Salvati, Shane Ruggiero, and Preston Cantelli. What an interesting line combination this is. Landon Cantelli steals and goes to the net. Landon now behind the net, goes in front. Now back to the blue line. Carter McGlinchey with a shot that goes over the net and out of play. 9:02 to go. First period, East Haven with a 1-0 lead. And you kind of see Coach Payne mixing and matching here a little bit, trying to get his team to be 4 lines deep again.
Well, yeah, you're going to need this come these next few games. We were talking about it, where we have potentially 10 more games. So you're going to have to stay fresh, get through these last quarter, and then you have games. It almost seems back to back to back when the season ends and the SECs start.
And as Nick said, potentially 10 more games. That means something very, very special has happened. We'll try to get through tonight first, but it is fun to dream a little bit. Carter McGlinchey at the blue line. McGlinchey finds John Dalbero. Now looking in front for DeFilio. Pass was deflected. Griffin McGlinchey and Robert Labonia get tied up. DeFilio steps out in front, and Lorenzo couldn't get a shot away. Centers down to John Dalbero, who goes wide over the net. Carter McGlinchey keeps it in. Boy, East Haven dominating possession here early. Preston Cantelli deflected out of play by Andrew Brown. 8:15 to go. First period, 1-0 East Haven. Did we mention it's really, really cold in here?
Yeah, we got that. You can see our breath, so we're going to – but it's cold, but we got to keep the games hot right now, so we're going to just keep on going with it. But I like how everybody on the ice seems hungry, too. Like, it's not affecting them at all. So as long as that stays, like, Cantelli looks good. DeFilio's always solid, and even Dalbero's looking really good right now as well.
This was the third stretch that East Haven's had of a week without a game. Shot goes on Brown. He covers up with 7:59 to go in the first period and a 1-0 lead. So they completed the 3 different periods of a week without a game, and they came through, and all they do is continue to win.
And that was the thing I was a little worried about because they had the weekend off, which good rest period. They came back on Monday, and then unfortunately we had the snow, so they couldn't get on the ice. So this is one day of practice, and they look really solid.
Watertown Pomperaug last played Friday night. They beat Guilford 4-2 here. East Haven, as we mentioned, played a week ago. They also beat Guilford 4-0. Landon Cantelli works through a check, gets the puck deep. Savo comes out with it. Savo trying to go back to Cantelli, but Savo knocked off the play, and now WP clears it out to center, and Landon Cantelli winds up being the one to come back for it at the red line. Peter Dawson in the corner. He's hounded by Savo, gets by Ballo. So now Enzo Plano back for East Haven. Plano cross ice for LaCroix. Quick pass back to Ballo. East Haven getting pinned deep here in their own zone. Cameron LaCroix being watched by Owen Brown. East Haven gets it out to center. Demetriadis trying to go for Bunnell. Demetriadis dumps it in as Bunnell gets back onside. Dumped in behind the net, Jackson Hitchcock. Hitchcock for WP. Had his pocket picked. And now WP back again. Anthony Joseph Del Carmine ridden off the play by Testa. Robert Testa off to a good start tonight as well. Now Brown, Benjamin Brown, trying to dump it in the WP zone. They are called the Watertown Pomperaug Hockey Club. They skate in. There's a shot by 24 Gouveia that went wide. Nice play by Dalbero, who tips it up to Lorenzo DeFilio with speed. DeFilio in the Watertown zone. Shot paddle saved by Andrew Brown. Bunnell tried to backhand it in front, and WP clears it out to center. Preston Cantelli quickly fires it back in, and now Gouveia goes the length of the rink for WP. Goes over the stick of Preston Cantelli. Fritz comes out to play it. He leaves it for Carter McGlinchey. Carter up to Griffin. Tips it up ahead to DeFilio. DeFilio couldn't control it. Now Griffin has it. Finds Dalbero. John Dalbero missed wide. And they fire it into the bench. 5:32 to go here, first period. 1-0 East Haven with the lead on the early goal by Griffin McGlinchey. And Griffin has picked up his scoring, especially here in the second half of the year.
Yeah, exactly. And I think and you go through those kind of spells, but Griffin, like you say, he was productive, but not on the score sheet for the first half. And now this first half, he's kind of turned a new page.
Michael Savo, top of the circle, finds Preston Cantelli. Shot fires off the glass. And WP clears it out to center. Cantelli to Savo. Tipped up ahead to Landon Cantelli. Cantelli with a shot that goes wide, stick side of Brown. Preston Cantelli steps down, tries to keep it in. Good work by Preston. Gets it back to Carter McGlinchey, who keeps it in. Only momentarily, though, as WP fires out. Preston Cantelli back for it. Cantelli behind his own net. Up ahead now to Perillo. Perillo looking for Josh Salvati. It was broken up. Salvati's got it back on his stick. Nice pass to Landon Cantelli, who couldn't get by his man, and they clear it out to center. Shane Ruggiero drops it back to Cameron LaCroix. Now Landon Cantelli trying to get it in the WP zone. Landon is hit. Shane Ruggiero dumps it in, and they go and get it. Enzo Plano kept it in. That was short-lived. WP clears out. They gain the East Haven zone. Kovac trying to go wide. Cameron LaCroix, great job defensively. Plano takes a hit by Noah McGletland. Cameron LaCroix fires all the way down, banks it off the boards, and they wave the icing off. Goes past Ballo, they wave that icing off. Fritz comes out and plays it. That's going to be an icing. So back to back to back, and that one gets whistled. 3:46 to go, first period, 1-0 East Haven. And you definitely get the sense that each team is kind of settled into the game now.
Yeah, it's a nice little flow right now. And maybe I haven't noticed as much lately as I was on camera a few games, but you see the connection between not just the lines. It seems like every line, the drop passes are connecting. Everybody knows where each other are, and that's a special thing. Granted, you're 15 games into the season, but it's really nice to see the consistency there.
Dalbero, nice pass to DeFilio. DeFilio looking for McGlinchey, and he scores. What a pass. That was tic-tac-toe. Dalbero to DeFilio to Griffin McGlinchey, his second of the night. And with 3:36 to go in the first period, East Haven leads it 2-0. And Griffin McGlinchey off to a flying start.
And that's the great thing about this team. Nobody's that I want the goal. They're so selfless, which always helps it down the line, because DeFilio could have had it, Dalbero could have had it, but as it's all a team kind of effort in their minds.
So Griffin McGlinchey with 2 goals here in the first period. DeFilio goes to the net. Andrew Brown covers up. 3:26 to go in the first period. East Haven with a 2-0 lead. And if you have seen a goal this year with better passing than that one had, from Dalbero to DeFilio to McGlinchey, I don't know that I've seen one.
And that kind of goes back to my point where they always know where each other are on the ice, too. Everything's just meshing well in these first 10 minutes. So keep it going, and then this is the play you're going to need for the next 4 games.
DeFilio took a shot. Brown with a save. DeFilio one-timer, and it went wide. Andrew Brown leaves some big rebounds out there, so East Haven's got to take advantage of that. Kept in by just goes past the stick of Carter McGlinchey, and Griffin touched up off sides. 3 minutes even to go here. First period, East Haven with a 2-0 lead, and so much for Bus Legs.
Yeah, no, everybody looks like they're ready. Like, you had the week off, so you knew they were going to be ready. So it's interesting that just they come out, no problem. So they look great.
Bouncing puck that goes wide of Fritz. Preston Cantelli reverses. He takes it behind the net. Cantelli hounded by Joseph Kovac. And now Savo tips it up ahead to land at Cantelli. Cantelli gets by his man, carries the puck into the corner, looks in front. Nobody there, and now WP comes back the other way. Here's for Anthony Joseph Del Carmine, and they're offsides. 2:31 to go here in the period. 2-0 East Haven with the lead. And you said it earlier, too. They don't take a game off. They look hungry.
No, exactly. And, one kid I'm looking at, and I talked about him earlier, is Cantelli. He's, very good with absorbing a check, keeping the play alive. Some people get hit and they're out of the play. He just fights through everything.
His legs don't stop moving when he works through everything. Here comes WP. Ballo step down. Potential 2-on-1. Nice pass across. And what a save by Fritz. Puck comes back out in front, and it goes just wide. Michael Fritz made the original save, and it kept WP off the board. He made another stop. A glove save. Incredible saves from Michael Fritz. And with 2:06 to go in the period, East Haven with a 2-0 lead, and Michael Fritz keeps WP off the board.
We were talking about it during warm-ups. He's just consistent. He's big when he has to be. And, he doesn't make a lot of saves, it seems, because the defense is so good. But when you need him, that confidence in the defenseman head is just something unparalleled to basically any team it seems like we've had faced so far.
So that's an icing on East Haven with 1:58 to go in the period. And East Haven with a 2-0 lead. And certainly that's the most action Fritz has seen tonight. And my goodness, that first save on the initial shot was remarkable.
It was incredible, and even to get back there. And you can kind of feel the urgency with not urgency, still in the first period, but they're forechecking a little harder now too to kind of get something. So this is a momentum type of play.
Dalbero going to the net, trying to center for DeFilio, and it was broken up. McGlinchey steals. Finds DeFilio back to McGlinchey. Shot saved by Brown. Griffin McGlinchey feeling it tonight. And with 1:41 to go in the period, 2-0 East Haven. This line just has everything clicking so far.
Yeah, everything's going for them. They know where each other are. It's just kind of a special thing when you get this deep into it, that it's just everything comes natural to them.
Puck gets by Carter McGlinchey, cleared out. Now Preston Cantelli back for it. Preston out of Carter McGlinchey, goes across ice for his brother Griffin. Now John Dalbero. Dalbero works the puck deep, carries in on Jack Govea. Now WP has it behind the net. DeFilio knocks his man off. They can't get by Cantelli. DeFilio finds Dalbero. John Dalbero puts it deep. Now Carter McGlinchey steps up. Shot on net, actually trickled wide of Andrew Brown. Preston Cantelli did a really good job to keep it in. Now fired around the boards. Carter McGlinchey stepped down. They keep it in. John Dalbero goes and gets it far corner in front for Griffin McGlinchey. Shot saved by Brown. Griffin McGlinchey going for a hat trick in the first period. Lorenzo DeFilio hard off the boards. Great pressure here from this line. WP still having a hard time getting it out. As Cantelli steps down, Dalbero tried to keep it in, but now they finally get it to center ice. Now WP trying to work back, having a hard time just getting past the red line. Landon Cantelli behind his own net. Cantelli hounded by Joseph Kovac. Now Carter McGlinchey. McGlinchey to Savo, who tipped it out of the zone. And now Fritz behind his own net settles it down. Cantelli will clear it out of harm's way, and that's going to do it for a solid first period. Griffin McGlinchey with both East Haven goals. And that was a really, really good road period from East Haven.
Looks a lot like the first period of the Guilford game last week, a week from today. So as long as you could do that for another 30 minutes, this one seems like – and the other thing to think about is this is an SEC game too, so you have that factor as well. So you're playing at this level against SEC, you're going to have a good night.
Griffin McGlinchey with 2 goals here in the first. We are through 1. East Haven with a 2-0 lead. Back for the second period in a moment. Back here at the Taft Mays Rink in Watertown, we start period 2. Griffin McGlinchey with 2 first period goals gives East Haven a 2-0 lead over WP as we start the second period. Michael Fritz made some big-time saves in that first period for East Haven to keep WP off the board. And the second period's underway. And the puck will start behind the net, occupied by Michael Fritz. Preston Cantelli turned it over. Now John Dalbero tries to shovel it out of the zone, but WP keeps it in. Carter McGlinchey up to the blue line and out. Hitchcock at center ice, dumps in. Now Govea. Govea with a shot save made by Fritz. John Dalbero now up ahead for DeFilio. DeFilio carries in. He turned it over. Now it's knocked down by Carter McGlinchey. 24, Govea. Dumped it all the way down. WP going for a change. Preston Cantelli. Now to Carter McGlinchey. Now DeFilio. Up for Griffin. Griffin McGlinchey back to Dalbero. Back to Griffin McGlinchey. And it bounced off Griffin. He didn't get a shot off. Dalbero. They are really showcasing Griffin McGlinchey tonight. DeFilio back to Griffin. Trying to go back in front for Dalbero. And now Joseph Kovac for WP. He carries in the East Haven zone. Nice play by Carter McGlinchey to knock him off. Then a backhander covered by Fritz. 13:35 to go. Second period, 2-0 East Haven. That line again with a great first shift.
Yeah, they're moving really well, and like you could see, like Watertown, like I said at the end of the first, they're more aggressive now. They're looking for something. So East Haven's got to put the next goal in to kind of take that away.
Yeah, that next goal is going to be really important here in this game. You mentioned it earlier, Nick. This game has huge SCC implications. We're not sure whether East Haven would be in or not with a win, but it would be pretty darn close. Savo dumps in. Now Peter Dawson goes up the boards all the way down. That'll be an icing. 13:09 to go Second period, 2-0 East Haven. But first things first, you have to win the game before you could start worrying about anything else. 6 points on the line. East Haven needs to win to stay as the top seed in Division II, with Cheshire leading North Brantford 2-0 tonight. So East Haven needs to win to stay as the number 1 seed in Division II. So much on the line with every game. Here's Kovac out of the zone for WP. That's going to be icing. I didn't think so, but the officials say it is. 12:48 to go here. Second period. East Haven with a 2-0 lead. And one thing we're seeing again so far tonight, East Haven staying out of the penalty box, which is what they did for most of the Guilford game.
Okay, good job, Jinx.
I don't believe in that stuff. Enzo Plano to Demetriadis, back to Brown. Brown with a shot and a save by Andrew Brown. Big rebound from Andrew Brown as Fritz covers up with 12:31 to go and a 2-0 East Haven lead. That's one thing we talked about. And in between periods, Andrew Brown leaves very, very big rebounds.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we've kind of seen with almost every goalie. It seems like it's a very common theme this year with the big rebounds. So nice shot right off the face-off for Watertown. So that's something like they recognize pretty good. Like I always think my main one is Glastonbury with Del Barro. So they know how to do it. It's just executing, getting to that dirty zone.
Face-off in the East Haven zone. Testa up to Enzo Plano, who gets it in the WP zone. Now Kovac back quickly the other way. They're onside. Going after it now is Jack Leary. Leary in the corner, knocked off the play by Demetriadis. Now on the stick of Ryan Bonnell. Bonnell fires into the neutral zone. Taken back by Del Carmine. Now to Kovac, and they're offsides. The whole East Haven bench called that one. 11:55 to go here, second period. East Haven with a 2-0 lead. 2 goals by Griffin McGlinchey. And you said it a lot in that first period. It just seems like everybody looks sharp tonight for this team.
Yeah, there's always a fight in them. They're never just kind of – everybody wants that goal to help out the team.
Carter McGlinchey up to Lorenzo DeFilio at center ice. Hitchcock tried to play it forward, but now WP quickly back the other way. Back forward is John Dalbero in his own zone. Up now to Griffin McGlinchey. McGlinchey. They get it out. Jackson Hitchcock at his own blue line. Pass goes across ice for 17, Griffin Namoto. And WP able to keep it in. That's Namoto, far side, ridden off by Carter McGlinchey. Now DeFilio, Lorenzo DeFilio. Drops it back for Dalbero. Nice pass, nice defensive play by Jackson Hitchcock. Carter McGlinchey tries to keep it in. Good work by Carter. Back at the blue line, Griffin McGlinchey. He covered to keep it in. Now Namoto out of the zone. Namoto into the East Haven zone. Dalbero knocked it off his stick just enough to cause an offsides. 10:53 to go here in the second period. East Haven with a 2-0 lead, and something we've seen all season long, the forwards playing both ends of the rink.
Yeah, you always see, especially like you saw with Savo, but especially in that first period, you see Dalbero step back. You see, because like we talked about Preston Cantelli, I'm convinced that he was a forward at one point in his career because he just kind of plays like that, and then the forwards recognize it and are always willing to step up.
Landon Cantelli with a shot, and again, big rebound from Andrew Brown. That's going to be a theme tonight. Landon Cantelli steps in front. Gouveia, though, plays the puck up ahead for 23, Leary, who dumps it in. Now Michael Ballo behind his own net. Michael Ballo through center ice. Now on the stick of Cantelli. Landon Cantelli tried to find Savo, who was streaking toward the net, but it was broken up. Now Savo back in his own zone. Savo takes it back behind his own net. Michael Savo being hounded by Leary. Now Ballo Gets it out of the zone. Ballo tips it into the WP bench and out of play. 10 minutes even to go here in the second period. 2-0 East Haven.
And what I really like to see is, like, we know Cantelli blocks down shots, but this game seems like they're breaking up a lot more passes than usual, and even that kind of caused the offside. So those little plays really do add up.
Face off just outside the East Haven zone. Here comes East Haven. Shane Ruggiero in the WP zone. Ruggiero pushes it deep. Enzo Plano now to Josh Salvati as Plano got hit hard. That puck thrown toward the net by Brown, and it was knocked down. Enzo Plano keeps it in. Good shift here. Shane Ruggiero. Ruggiero knocked off the play. There's Hitchcock. Up the boards, knocked down by Testa. Now it's a foot race. Benji Brown avoids the check of Leary. Owen Brown runs into him. Now Del Carmine dumps it in. It was knocked down by Brown. Now Del Carmine, a lot of neutral zone play here. Josh Salvati takes a big hit from Del Carmine. Now Ruggiero hits him. We have not seen much physical play thus far in this game. East Haven dumps it in. Del Carmine behind the net. Del Carmine out through center. Nice pass for Namoto. Namoto goes to the net. What a job by Testa to tie up Griffin Namoto. Nice defensive play by Robert Testa. And with 8:46 to go in the period, it's still 2-0 East Haven. As Robert Testa with a great defensive play down the far end of the rink on Griffin Namoto. And the face-off is to the right of Michael Fritz. Preston Cantelli up for Griffin McGlinchey, who's got both goals. Now to John Dalbero. Dalbero goes to the net, backhands one, and Andrew Brown, quick instincts, covers up with 8:32 to go in the period. And a good chance there for John Dalbero, still 2-0 East Haven.
Back to the effort by East Haven, there was almost nothing there, but Dalbero and anyone on the team is always willing just to put something on net.
Around the boards, Dalbero knocks it down. Now Griffin tried to go in front for DeFilio, but the pass was broken up by Bowden Stanton. And there's an icing on WP with 8:18 to go here in the second period. So Griffin McGlinchey with 2 goals in the first. And that's been all the scoring tonight as the two teams have settled down here defensively, and it certainly looks like it's going to be that typical low-scoring game that we've seen a lot of. Puck goes wide to the corner. Bowden Stanton around for Hitchcock. Hitchcock. DeFilio followed through on a check on him. So does Carter McGlinchey. Namoto clears it out. DeFilio with good hustle to try to keep the puck in front of him. Now it's on the stick of Preston Cantelli. Now John Dalbero. Dalbero goes wide. Dalbero tried to put it in front. Pack was broken up by Bowden Stanton. And here comes Jackson Hitchcock. Goes for Griffin Namoto. Namoto back to Hitchcock, who goes to the net. And he was disrupted enough by DeFilio that it broke it up. Now Griffin McGlinchey drops it back for Cantelli. Preston Cantelli in front for Dalbero. Now Preston Cantelli trying to stuff it. And the net got knocked off as Andrew Brown knocked it off when he was going across. 7:25 to go in the period. 2-0 East Haven as John Dalbero and Jackson Hitchcock exchange some words.
It's kind of interesting where they've been trying that centering pass all night, and that doesn't seem like Watertown does a good job of clogging up that lane. So it's almost like they have to transition into Watertown zone. That's always their best chance.
They have done a good job. You're right. Watertown Pomperog does a very, very good job clogging up passing lanes. We've been seeing that since this game started. Cameron LaCroix back behind his own net now. Just clears it out of the zone. Del Carmine to center ice where it's broken up by Ballo. Here comes Michael Ballo with speed in the WP zone. Ballo to Cantelli. Tries to put it in front now. Savo. Brown inadvertently knocked the net off the peg again. It's not in there very solidly. Landon Cantelli works through a check, trying to put it in front. Cantelli stays with it. Perillo to Savo, and he scores! Michael Savo was in the slot. Perillo saw him, and it started with the effort from Landon Cantelli. And with 6:42 to go in the second period, East Haven now leads it 3-0. And that started with a great individual effort from Landon Cantelli.
Yeah, again, kind of going back to what I said in first, he works through every check that he has and gave Savo the opportunity. They must have heard me where they not clogging the lane because Savo had a clear shot at Brown.
Boy, this has been a very impressive first half of this game from East Haven. And they're just trying to keep it up now. Ryan Bonnell in the WP zone. His shot was blocked by Bowden Stanton. WP back the other way. This team doesn't give up a lot of goals, but East Haven's got 3 here, and we're in the second period. This East Haven team just so deep, so many weapons, and that is showing itself again tonight. Far side, WP dumps it in. Owen Brown tied up in the corner. Now it's Ryan Bonnell. Bonnell out to Dimitriadis. Billy Dimitriadis dumps in, but that was broken up. Taken by Leary. Leary dumps it in on Fritz. Benjamin Brown up to Dimitriadis, who lost it. Kovac for WP. Plays the puck deep. That's actually Maxwell Sutton. No, that's Kovac, number 2. Couldn't tell if it was 2 or 3. Dimitriadis, as East Haven getting pinned in their own zone here. And Testa cleared it out to center, so WP's got to touch up. Dimitriadis fans on it twice. And now Testa has it back. Now Dalbero. Dalbero took a shot that deflects off the netting and goes out of play. 5:10 to go second period. East Haven 3. WP nothing. I'm watching John Dalbero as he skates tonight, and he looks to be a little bit frustrated that he hasn't found the back of the net yet.
Well, yeah, and he kind of not gave up, but he gave it the tic-tac-toe play to, so he's got to feel good that he's got an assist on it, but you know how Dalbero plays. He always wants that goal.
Face off to the right of Andrew Brown. Again, Andrew Brown, a junior goaltender, so he should be back unless he tries another route in his hockey career next year. Kept in by Preston Cantelli. What a job, even if it was for just a second, as Lorenzo DeFilio dumped back in. Peter Dawson trying to go up the boards, and now they clear. Carter McGlinchey back for it for East Haven. McGlinchey looking up for DeFilio. Jackson Hitchcock knocks it down. Now it's on the stick of DeFilio. Now Dalbero. John Dalbero trying to work his way through a double team. They go high on Dalbero as he and Del Carmine get tied up. That was as physical as anything we've seen tonight. And now icing on WP with 4:23 to go here in the period. 3-0 East Haven, and that starts to seem to be what WP wants to do here, is play more physically.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. That's kind of how it's almost a carbon copy of how the Guilford game was. They kind of got a little irritated with it. So if you can't win in the score column, you're going to win in the hit column.
And East Haven's been very disciplined again tonight so far. Puck knocked down by Ballo, tries to keep it in front of him. And Ballo does a nice job to get back. Ballo in onside, works through. Ballo shot, big rebound and a save by Brown. Perillo, who got one of the assists on Savo's goal. East Haven has scored in each of the first 2 periods now. Perillo top of the blue line, shot, big save, rebound, big save. 2 huge rebounds as Savo gets knocked down by Del Carmine in front, who's a physical player for WP. 3:48 to go in the period. 3-0 East Haven, and Anthony Joseph Del Carmine seems to be the enforcer, if you will, for this WP team.
Number 2.
So the face-off will be to the right of Andrew Brown. It's Enzo Plano taking the draw. One back to Brown. Brown on net, and Andrew Brown made the save. Now Ryan Bunnell with room. Oh, that went off the official. That had to hurt. Plano with a deflection that goes wide. This line getting some good chances. Good hustle by Enzo Plano. Now Shane Ruggiero far side. Back to Plano. Plano tried to go to Bunnell. Plano to the net. He took a hit from again Del Carmine. And now WP back the other way. Owen Brown gains the blue line, dumps it in. Jackson Hitchcock, far corner. Plays the puck to Leary behind the net, trying to go in front. Now back to the blue line, kept in by Gouveia. And now Owen Brown just dumps it back in behind the net, where Fritz leaves it for Benjamin Brown. Up to Ryan Bunnell. Bunnell tips it out of the zone. Bunnell. They're going to go for a change as the puck's back at center ice. Oh, there's a steal. Here comes WP. Nice play by Testa to break it up on Robert Laboni. A really good defensive play by Robert Testa, who's been good all night. Griffin McGlinchey still hunting that hat trick here. Shane Ruggiero tries to dump in. That's going to be an icing, though, on WP. 2:17 to go. Second period. Michael Savo gave East Haven a 3-0 lead here. And they'd love to go into the third period up by at least 3 goals here.
Yeah, the momentum would be all on their end. So to keep them off this period. But the other thing is, like you saw Testa with the great play. Fritz has maybe seen 3-4 shots this period. So really credit to Testa and the rest of the defense.
Yeah, this has been, for as well as they played against Guilford, they look even better tonight. Griffith to Dalbero, who fanned on the shot, and body language tells a lot. And John clearly frustrated with himself after not getting that shot away. Carter McGlinchey tied up. Lorenzo DeFilio with good hard work to help him out. Kovac trying to go around the boards. Cantelli gets to a bouncing puck in front. Dalbero tried to knock it down. East Haven, though, has got a touch up. Joseph Kovac for WP. Dumped it in, but it's on the steady hand of Cantelli. Now Griffin McGlinchey going across for Dalbero. Dalbero shot gloved by Andrew Brown, and he holds for the whistle. 1:31 to go, second period. East Haven 3, WP nothing. As we've played this final quarter of the season that started with the Guilford game last week, a 4-0 win, and East Haven just continues to be the better team than all these teams.
And that's the nice thing about it. When do you want to play your best hockey? At the end of the season, going into these hard tournaments where you're not going to have an easy game.
That's right. Oh, here comes Kovac. Kovac with Savo on him. Kovac with a shot. Savo did just enough to disrupt him and put the shot wide. Really good defensive effort from Michael Savo. Now Landon Cantelli. Cantelli into the WP zone. Cantelli pushed it toward the net. And now Cameron LaCroix. LaCroix cross ice for Ballo, who doesn't have a stick. Now Savo. Savo gets by one. A shot and a save by Brown. Savo tried to bank it off the back of the net. Big hit by Landon Cantelli right under us. Wow. Landon Cantelli has been a physical force all year, and he showed it there. Fritz with a long pass up to Savo. Now Perillo, Nicholas Perillo, back to Cameron LaCroix. LaCroix holds it for East Haven. LaCroix takes a high hit. Now he gets tied up along the boards. Carter McGlinchey dumps it in the WP zone. Brown keeps it away from Cantelli. Cantelli steals, though. Brown tries to push it away from Savo. Savo rides his man into the boards, and that's going to do it for the period. As Savo, and I can't tell the number for the WP player, tied up behind the play here, and that's how the second period ends. So Michael Savo with the goal in the second period. And again, that was about as solid a period, especially defensively, that we've seen this team play, and they add a goal. And East Haven has given themselves a 3-0 lead.
And it's interesting because I think there was a penalty at the end of that. I saw the ref. So it'll be interesting that East Haven will come out, under my assumption, 3-goal lead with the power play. So they have to jump on that, kind of put the nail in this coffin.
So after 2, East Haven with a 3-0 lead. We'll come back for the third period in a moment. Back here at the Taft Mays rink in Watertown, we start the third period. East Haven with a 3-0 lead, and it looks like Savo and somebody from WP are in the penalty box. And the penalty box is like split by one of those rafters. That's just bizarre. Well, we start the third period. East Haven with a 3-0 lead, looking for win number 16 on the season in this, their 17th game. Pretty amazing. Govea got tied up. Hitchcock turns around. Jackson Hitchcock has been shut down tonight. And what we have a delayed offside on WP, it looks like, with 14:35 to go here in the third. And a 3-0 East Haven lead. Faceoff's going to come outside the East Haven zone here. And we talked about it during the intermission, just how solid this team just continues to play defensively, which seems to be number one for them.
Yeah, and when you're announcing these games, you know more than anybody. You get to a point where, what do you say when they're playing this well? Everything's just clicking, so they just have to survive these 14 minutes, and then we're good to go. And then another one coming up right away, it seems.
We got out of a rhythm playing basically once a week for the last 3.5 weeks or so, but we're really going to get in a rhythm now if things go the way we hope they go. Preston Cantelli with a shot that gets deflected way up and out of play. 14:07 to go here. Third period, East Haven with a 3-0 lead. Rob has been working, well, somewhat frantically, trying to get the live stream to work.
Told me, okay, now it works.
And John Becker Jr. watching live at home, saying that the stream now works. Owen Brown puts the puck deep, looking for Kovac. Now Landon Cantelli for East Haven. Landon Cantelli into the WP zone, takes a huge hit. But Landon, tough as he is, gets right back up and right back into the play and delivers a hit on Kovac at center ice. LaCroix now to Ballo. Ballo had it broken up. WP dumps it in. Puck goes behind the net. Cameron LaCroix up for Salvati. Owen Brown tried to go back to the blue line, but it was cleared all the way down. Fritz with Owen Brown on the doorstep covers up. 13:16 to go, third period. It is East Haven 3, WP nothing, as we've got this final period to go tonight from the coldest building known to man. There's no words to say how cold it is in here. Now, I have no idea what just happened. The WP player just went out of the penalty box. We haven't played 2 minutes. I don't understand, but anyway. Michael Fritz made a big save there on a shot. Puck comes back to the slot area. Knocked down, and now Shane Ruggiero at center ice. Ruggiero broken up by Jackson Hitchcock as the puck goes deep behind the net. Now Del Carmine turned it over. Shane Ruggiero broke it up, but WP comes out in the East Haven zone. Hitchcock shoots one wide of Fritz. Brown over now to Shane Ruggiero. At center ice to Ryan Bunnell. Bunnell carries in the WP zone. Bunnell stops. Goes back to Testa. Testa on net. And a save made by Brown. Oh, Hitchcock gets by Benjamin Brown, but Michael Fritz there for the cover-up, and now Hitchcock and Testa with words as Hitchcock tries to follow Testa back to the bench. 12:19 to go here in the third period, 3-0 East Haven, and you can sense things starting to get a little bit more intense here as East Haven tries to hold on for win number 16.
Yeah, it's irritating. Think about the Watertown side, and you haven't scored in almost going to be 3 periods, so you're going to kind of do that. It's where East Haven's discipline has to come into play now.
That puck was deflected, so no icing. DeFilio drops it back for Dalbero. A shot and a save by Andrew Brown. Another gigantic rebound. Carter McGlinchey flips it in the WP zone. We were wondering on the way up here what the mascot was, and there is none. Lorenzo DeFilio with a shot that goes wide, and that goes up and out of play. 11:47 to go, third period. East Haven with a 3-0 lead. Griffin McGlinchey with 2. Michael Savo with the other goal. And Michael Fritz, who has not seen much in the way of action tonight, but he's been good when he's had to be. And that just means that East Haven defensively has been terrific. Griffin McGlinchey takes a hit. Drops it back for Dalbero, in front for DeFilio, who tried some quick stick handling, but he couldn't get it by his man. Dalbero lost it in the corner. Now WP looks to clear out. Up the boards, knocked down by Cantelli. Preston Cantelli deflected by Griffin McGlinchey on net. Brown pushed it into the corner. Griffin McGlinchey far side. Braces himself for another hit. They've been physical on Griffin since he scored the 2 first period goals. Preston Cantelli with a really nice play. Cantelli in the WP zone, works through 2 players, stays with it, and now has it in the corner. Del Carmine hounded by Dalbero. Now Landon Cantelli. Joseph Kovac now. Dalbero got tripped. No call, so WP comes back this way. There's Kovac. Cantelli rides him off. Preston Cantelli up to Griffin McGlinchey. McGlinchey drops it back for Preston. Tried to go to McGlinchey at the face-off circle, but Griffin couldn't get a shot off. And now it's cleared out into the East Haven zone. It's a foot race. Kovac and Cantelli. Cantelli, ever so steady, wins the foot race. Landon Cantelli dumps it in deep. You heard Coach Payne yelling deep, and Landon did just that. WP dumps in. Now Michael Ballo. Ballo hounded by Owen Brown. Landon Cantelli around the boards for Cameron LaCroix. LaCroix knocked down by Brown. Hitchcock puts it deep. Ballo trying to go up the wall. He's knocked off the play. Cameron LaCroix gets hit and now clears it out to center. Cantelli up ahead for Perillo. Perillo back to Cantelli, and Cantelli tried to make one too many moves, didn't get a shot. Perillo with a shot, and Brown gloves it, holds for the whistle. 9:20 to go in the third period. East Haven holding that 3-0 lead, and they really have not stopped attacking.
No, exactly. And the thing that I kind of like, too, is that was one of the best shifts to me Preston has played all year. He's so quick. Like, he really showed his talent on the ice right there.
Enzo Plano, far corner. Plano tied up. And WP clears it out to center ice, where Preston Cantelli knocks it down. It seems like Preston Cantelli and Carter McGlinchey have not come off the ice here in this third period. Coach Payne wanted to get it deep. They didn't do so. And now off the glass in front of the WP bench. Carter McGlinchey up to Enzo Plano. Hitchcock knocked it down. McGlinchey now to Bunnell. Ryan Bunnell puts a move on. Bunnell puts another move on, takes a shot, and Brown covers for the whistle with 8:40 to go here in the third period. And East Haven with a 3-0 lead. And you could hear Michael Fritz. He's been talking all night. And we've talked all season long about what a great communicator he is.
It's more like a quarterback than anything else in football, because you don't see, like, at the higher level of hockey, you don't hear, like, they communicate, but Fritz kind of has that voice for it.
That's next level communication is Michael Fritz. Dalbero with a chance, it was blocked. John Dalbero trying so hard to get a goal here. McGlinchey had it stolen. WP couldn't carry in. Now they do. Brown forces his man wide, loose in front. What a save by Fritz, and now it went just wide. Fritz lost his stick, and East Haven able to clear it out. He can't go get it because WP has the puck. That's going to be an icing. Michael Fritz with some more huge saves. And with 7:59 to go in the third period, Michael Fritz has kept East Haven on top 3-0. Incredible stops there by Fritz, who once again has just had a terrific night in goal. And now the face-off to the right of Andrew Brown in the WP end. Savo, Cantelli, and Perillo, the line that's out there now. WP tries to come out with it, knocked down by Perillo. Trying to go to Savo. Savo, shot saved by Brown. Savo looking for his second goal of the game. He gave East Haven that 3-0 lead. Now WP up the boards all the way down. That's going to be no icing. Officials say it was deflected. Carter McGlinchey up now to Perillo. Nicholas Perillo swivels away from Savo. And a little bit too much as they're offsides. As Savo having some words right in front of the WP bench. 7:16 to go in the third period. East Haven with a 3-0 lead, and Savo doing the smart thing, just skating over to the bench. The most important thing is holding on and getting the win. And they're 7 minutes away from doing that.
This to me is almost like, okay, let's play a dump and chase, kill the clock, kind of get out of here. And he's going to go for a weird penalty box, but It's just an odd thing you don't see a lot. But he's going to get the penalty, but the kill's been looking good so far for the past few games, so if anything, it's good practice for something eventual that will happen down the line.
So for the first time tonight, either team has a power play, as East Haven will be shorthanded now with 7:16 to go in the third period. I didn't see what the call was. I don't know if we'll be able to hear it. Speaker system's kind of low, so I'm going to agree with you and say no. Now Kovac in, big save by Fritz. Big rebound, and Carter McGlinchey cleared it wide. Now Del Carmine throws it on net, deflected into the far corner. Jackson Hitchcock drops it back to Kovac. Kovac in front for Hitchcock. Jackson Hitchcock on his backhand, puts it in front. Cantelli tied it up. Preston blocks that one. Nice play by Carter McGlinchey. And now Preston Cantelli and Griffin McGlinchey clear the zone. Terrific job to start this penalty kill. That was really good work. Griffin McGlinchey steals and backhands it all the way down. WP has to go the length of the rink. And they want Dalbero to go off for a change. He will go. Jackson Hitchcock keeps it into the blue line. Cantelli rides him hard. Oh, big hit there behind the net. Preston Cantelli takes and fires all the way down. And Andrew Brown leaves it, and they've got to go the length. Broken up, Cantelli short-handed. And Andrew Brown with a big stop. I tell you what, I'd love to know the shots at the end of this game. Andrew Brown, another goaltender who has had a very, very big night. against this East Haven team. Landon Cantelli fires it out of play. 5:40 to go. Third period, 24 seconds on the WP power play. 3-0 East Haven. We do not have, what do we have here? Cheshire with a 2-0 win over North Branford. A 13-game unbeaten streak for Cheshire. And that really hurts North Branford for their SCC chances. And it actually helps the team East Haven's playing tonight, WP. It also opens the door for Hamden as well.
Don't count anybody out.
Yeah, you can't count anybody out here. We don't even know if East Haven is in with a win here, so if they can hold on, maybe we'll find out in the next couple of days, but we'll see. Power play is over. Savo out of the box. Savo's been in the box twice. Plano goes to the net. Enzo Plano still looking for that first goal. Lorenzo DeFilio tried to keep it in. WP clears. Namoto throws one towards the net. Fritz knocks it out of play. 4:51 to go, third period. 3-0 East Haven. Griffin McGlinchey with 2. Michael Savo with the other. East Haven has outscored their opponents so far in this final quarter of the season, 7-0. And these have both been quality opponents in Guilford and Watertown Pomperaug, two teams that are in the mix in Division II as they ice the puck. 4:42 to go, third period, 3-0 East Haven. So East Haven's got to hold on to remain as the number 1 seed in Division II. With Cheshire winning, they would still have a 2-point lead.
So that would bring Cheshire to 75, and with us win 77. So we still have a 2-point lead. And that's the weird thing about D2 this year. You have 1 and 2 so tightly together, and then you get to 3-11 that's split by 9 points coming into the night.
We've talked about it all season. It's a very deep division. And the state tournament, which will be in a couple of weeks, is going to be awfully fun because on any given night, anybody could beat anybody. Lorenzo DeFilio up the boards, out to center where it's knocked down. DeFilio couldn't carry in or they would have been offsides. Now Ballo. Michael Ballo across for Cameron LaCroix. Now Dalbero goes wide. Dalbero shot saved by Brown. Dalbero with his own rebound. Back now to DeFilio. WP in the East Haven zone. They go to the net. Fritz came out and made the save. Good defensive play from Cameron LaCroix to disrupt. Kovac behind the net. Kovac tries to go in front. It went off the back of Michael Fritz. And now it's John Dalbero. Dalbero in the WP zone. Griffin McGlinchey was way off sides, but the play continued. Carter McGlinchey kept it in. WP's got numbers if they hurry, but Preston Cantelli and Carter McGlinchey break it up. And Savo tips it out of the zone. Good speed from Savo. Savo goes to the net, stays with it. And the puck is now behind the net. Savo in front, Cantelli. And Brown may have gotten a piece of that one with his stick. Perillo knocked off the play. WP clears it out. Goes by Carter McGlinchey. And Carter will now carry into the far corner. Finds Cantelli, who tried to tip it up to Perillo. And now Landon dumps it in. Brown from the blue line. Puck was knocked down. Brown went down, but Preston Cantelli back defensively. He's been solid again tonight. Benjamin Brown, who's gotten big ice time tonight. He's gotten better with every game. Dumps it in. Perillo knocked it down, tried to find Savo. Now WP coming back the other way. Preston Cantelli forces his man wide. Del Carmine goes deep. Try to put it in front. Fritz knocked it away, and it goes wide. Michael Fritz kept it out of the net as Plano took a heavy hit from Del Carmine. Preston Cantelli in the WP zone. Cantelli worked it in, but it got broken up. Now Bunnell steals. Ryan Bunnell works through a check from Hitchcock. Bunnell in front for Plano, and Brown made the save. And Enzo Plano hit hard in front. Bunnell puts it back out in front. Plano on the backhand. Puck loose. Now Testa throws it towards the net. Enzo Plano had a perfect chance for his first goal. And Andrew Brown made a big-time save. Robert Testa at his own blue line keeps it in front of him. Now Brown up ahead for Bunnell. Ryan Bunnell goes to the net, shoots one wide. It's been another solid defensive effort tonight from this East Haven team. Here comes WP. Kovac going wide of the net. Nice play by Robert Testa. What a job Testa's done tonight. Here comes Dalbero. Dalbero to the net. Dalbero tried a backhander, and Brown may have gotten a piece of it. Put it wide of the net. Neither Dalbero nor DeFilio have scored tonight. Dalbero again. Shot save. Brown, he covers for the whistle. 39 seconds to go, third period. 3-0 East Haven, and they are going to get win number 16.
It's really impressive. It's carbon copy of last Wednesday night, so it's good to see 6 points they desperately need. But I'll tell you, they're going to get rewarded. There's going to be a lot of sore bodies tomorrow for East Haven. Watertown always kind of has the mentality of that big physical team.
And we talked about it earlier. It's going to be, as the puck goes out of play with 33 seconds to go here in the third period in a 3-0 game. If East Haven wants to get where they want to get to in about a month, it's going to be a lot of games in a short amount of time, and they're all going to be physical. So these are the kind of games you're going to see.
Of course, and one other thing I want to mention before the game's over, Fritz's confidence. You see he's basically past the face-off circles, making plays and just keeping everything alive. So the mentality of him, it starts with the team, I always think, and it's just going to go all the way through.
Owen Brown forces Carter McGlinchey to lose his stick. WP trying to get on the board. Brown puts it in front. Block, nice stick work by Fritz to tip it up to the blue line. Owen Brown puts it back behind the net. Kovac behind the net. Sent it in front, goes back to the top of the circle. Wide to the glove side, and that's going to do it. East Haven wins it 3-0, and that is back-to-back shutouts for Michael Fritz. And win number 16 on the season. East Haven wins the game 3-0. And you run out of superlatives for just how great this team has been and just how great they continue to play. Just another fantastic win against a very good team.
Yeah, like I said, we're going to compare it to Guilford, but that's the game from here on out for the last quarter that you have to play. Don't think about, okay, where are we going to end in points and standings. Just think about, let's win this one at a time, and that gets us that much closer to our goal. So they're going to have the same thing going into Saturday night.
And Saturday night is our next game. It'll be the final road game of the regular season, and it will be a big one. At the Northford Ice Pavilion Saturday night, East Haven will take on the Division II state champions, North Haven, at 7:45 Saturday night. And that's going to be a dandy. What do you got for a player of the game?
I think it's got to be Griffin. I think he had the most complete game.
Griffin.
I will say Griffin as well. So a unanimous decision, Griffin McGlinchey, our player of the game. So once again, Saturday night, it'll be East Haven at North Haven, 7:45 at the Northford Ice Pavilion. For Rob Becker and Nick Maniscalco, this is Mike Amento. Once again, our final score from Watertown, East Haven 3, WP nothing. Good night, everyone.